Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean. They're mean. They're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars. And a big evening, good evening to you from the Tulsa Expo Raceway in beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma. A couple days from now, you'll see some micro sprints on the track for the Tulsa Shootout. And in a couple weeks, you've got the good old-fashioned midgets for the Chili Bowl. We've got our own virtual Chili Bowl. We welcome you to night 2 of the Dagen Korynta Memorial here, where all proceeds benefit Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer. We're excited for this one here. We're so glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you, and we hope you're having a Merry Christmas or whatever other holiday you and your others may be celebrating. I should say Happy Festivus too, because today is December 23rd at the same time. So, in case you missed us last night, was our opening night of the Chili Bowl Nationals, the Dagen Korynta Chili Bowl. Dagen Korynta Memorial Chili Bowl Nationals. And it was wire to wire. Stephen Goldner taking the checkered flag, leading every single lap and winning. Had to hold off Steven Spies in the final few laps. But we're getting things set here for tonight. Here's how the format will go. We've got a couple of updates here to the format this evening. First off, the drivers that did not run last night, you will see them running here tonight. They will qualify and then they will race. After the race is done, we'll take a break, and then we'll get Alphabet Soup finally set up from what I believe will be is our D main up to the A main this evening. There will not be any pole shuffle tonight due to some situations going on. We had 2 of our drivers not able to make it, like Stephen Goldner and I think somebody else. And so because of that, it would just make things very confusing. To be safe than sorry, no pole shuffle this evening. Qualifying underway here. First driver on track, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. Here he comes across the line. His first lap time sets the bar. This lap may have actually not gone. Now it goes up. Lap 1, 11:05. The driver, the number 31, 11:05. Anthony Morano goes second, 11:193. Here comes Templeton across the line for a better lap, possibly. Not too sure if it was. It was close. Morano still put in second. He won the matinee race earlier tonight. Clay Christopherson. How about Terry Landis, though? Quickest of every driver in Sector 2. Puts him fourth quick at an 11:27. Now, if he has a much better Sector 1, that could help him out get a pole lap, possibly. We'll have to see. 11:27 on lap 1, 11:48 on lap 2. Rick Mayne, lap number 1, goes 11:44. He's fifth quick on the charts. Here he comes off the corner. He is in the green in Sector 2. Is it a better lap? Yes, it is, up to third, 11:27. Ross the Boss Korynta working lap 2. His first lap time, 11:431. Second lap time for the Boss is just a bit slower, and 11:59. Justin Haslett just completed lap 1. He goes 7th at 11:552. Drivers getting 5 minutes to qualify, and not the normal 2 we normally see in coast to coast. 6 quick for Haslett, 11:397. Randy Shreves, I believe, gained some just gained some free practice right now, as he is in the lap number 6. I believe that is the case. So waiting for one other driver. I don't know if he's going to qualify or not. Nope, we've got everyone that is already qualified. There are 2 drivers you'll see on the lineup, but nope, that just went up for Randy Shreves. Not sure what was going on there. I think our scoring was off, but 11:521 for sure. He's put us 8th quick. So that'll do it for qualifying. Brandon Templeton, the quickest man out on track, and 11:049. You'll see 2 drivers on the leaderboard that are not running with us. Donovan Ross and Brandon Geiswhite. You'll see them later on tonight. So while we wait to get things going here, let's talk a little bit more about Dagen's hope for childhood cancer. Dagen Korynta, remarkable young boy, passed away on January 8th, 2023 at 12 years old after a battle with neuroblastoma cancer. Though his time was far too short, his legacy of courage, love, and determination lives on in the hearts of all who knew him. Dagen, the cousin son of Coast to Coast member Ross Korynta. All proceeds going towards Braden's hope for childhood cancer. Braden Hofen, who also faced neuroblastoma at age 3. Despite a relapse and devastating odds, Braden defied expectations and remains in remission. Braden's hope is dedicated to funding research for cures and providing hope to children fighting cancer. If you want to donate, you can send donations via PayPal to c2c.charity.us@gmail.com. Our first of 3 events here in the 2-week Dagen Korynta Memorial. We've got our Big Block 200 race on December 31st, followed by the Husitz 100 on New Year's Day. So we are ready to go here for our 20-lap qualifier. Let's meet the field and give you the starting lineup. Brandon Templeton is on the pole, the number 31. Next to him, it's the 32, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row number 2, Rick Mayne in the 187, and Clay Christopherson in the 51. Row 3, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, the 161, and the 27 of Justin Haslett. Row 4, the Boss, Ross Korynta in the 10, and Randy Shreves in the number 56. Rounded out the top 10, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and Cody Early in the 03. Those are the 10 drivers that will be taking part. Steven Speeds, Donovan Ross, Brandon Geiswhite, all watching this evening. And so as we get set to go for night number 2, let us know who you're rooting for in chat. We got 20 people watching. Let us know who you're rooting for. We'll give you a shout out live on the air. About 25 seconds before we go green here. Fortunately, we have to have that wait. So again, this is the list of drivers that were not in night one and wanted to race in Alphabet Soup. This is pretty much their qualifier race, and it will determine where they will start in C main and beyond, either C main or D main. With this, I believe we're gonna have an E main and beyond. Lights are off as we go green. Next time by, you get a nice view on top of the Tulsa Expo Center. As the Steve King Foundation pace truck is on pit road. Field makes their way through 3 and 4. And night 2 of the Chili Bowl is set to go green. Templeton Morano bring us down. The last chance qualifier is on to set the starting lineups for some of the preliminary soup nights. As Brandon Templeton gets a little bit sideways off for turn number 2. He and Morano go side by side. Lap number 1 led by the 31. Morano, though, able to crisscross and peek downstairs for the top spot. Gets some nice bite off for turn 2, but can't take the lead. The Ant-Man won the matinee race, which took place at the Chili Bowl. Now he's got company for a second from his full throttle teammate, the 51 of Clay Christopherson, on board with Putt Putt. Just trying to hang on to that race car. Terry Landis, Rick Mayne go to battle. Mayne in that 187 moves up, but look at the smorgasbord off for turn 4. Landis, the 27 of Hazlitt. Shreves and Korynta all in a big battle for 5th spot on track. Trouble, Rick Mayne has crashed. As the first yellow flag comes out, Mayne spun from the looks of it on the back straight. That's a tough break for the driver of the 187, a Renegades driver on Monday nights. A look at what happened. Did he just catch the wall down the back? Yep, sent him around, and man, nearly clipped the column on the ramp. That would have led to a heavy crash. Let's ride on board with Mayne. Give him credit at least for keeping that car straight and still on all 4 wheels where he won't need to get a tow. Wow. Very close to taking out that column. So first yellow waves, wasting no time, set to come back to the green flag.
Green, green, green.
Templeton able to hold serve here. Morano stays put in second. Man, Christopherson sideways. Up on 2 wheels was Korynta there for a moment. 2 by 2 in turns 3 and 4. Now it's Hazlitt and Korynta that are wheel to wheel for the 5th spot. Yellow flag back out, and it's Mayne, and this time it's worse. He's on his noggin. Over here, oh, look at that in the background. Terry Landis spun as well in 3 and 4. We'll show you what happened to the Desert Demon in just a moment. Ooh, got caught up from Roger Craig, hops up in the air, then ramps up in turn 3 where he goes up and over. Yeah, you can see there, Craig caught the berm and ramped up into the 187. Real quick before we go back to green, a look at Terry Landis. What happened after the yellow flag flew? Ooh, Christopherson just came to a stop and everyone was just trying to check up. Pace truck is in, back to green, 7 laps complete. So B-Temp able to hold serve. He's always pretty good in a midget. Korynta riding the berm with the left front sneaker. That's just what you want to do. So he tries to get fourth. One driver up on the wall. I think that was the second place car, Murano, for just a moment. Kristofferson part of this battle as well. Now it's for third. Again, everybody is in the show. This is just figuring out where the drivers will start. Halfway home, you're 10 up and 10 down. Brandon Templeton remains your leader. 1.3 second advantage on Anthony Murano. Yellow flag waves. And it's for Justin Haslett in the 27. Just checked up on the 10 of Korynta. Nice save for him, though, but I believe because he's the cause of caution, he'll have to drop to the back on board with Haslett. This was a really good race for position 2 at the same time. So Haslett having to drop to the rear. Because of that, he'll drop down to 9th. Should be 1 lap to green this time by. Templeton, the race leader. Murano 2nd. Kristofferson 3rd. Korynta 4th. Shreves in 5th. Landis 6th. Yearly 7th. Roger Craig 8th. And Haslett down to 9th. Rick Vane's still on track. He's in 10th, but he is many laps down after having to use a tow earlier. So we're back to green. 8 laps to go here in the qualifier. Templeton able to hold serve. Still the battle for third. Korynta look low. 2 wheels on the berm. That affects his pace for just a moment. Shreves and Landis going to work in the battle for the 5th spot. Another driver up on the wall. I think that may have been Kristofferson this time. Oh, it was actually Murano. You saw some sparks fly off the fuel bar. 6 laps remaining here. Good side-by-side race for third. We saw a lot of side-by-side action in night 1's final. As the boss moves up to P3, Kristofferson drops down to 4th. Korynta trying to find a way to catch Templeton, but with 4 laps to go, that is likely going to be tough. There is lap traffic I think I saw in front. Nope, never mind. That was Templeton. He had just such a big lead ahead at 1.8 seconds. Terry Landis up on 2 wheels. Yellow flag waves, and it's for Roger Craig. So we'll get a late race restart with just about 2 or 3 laps to go. It'll be with 2 to go. Not a overtime attempt, though. So look at what happened to the Bass man. Oh, he just caught the berm and around he went. Yep, just completely lost it. That went too hard on the brakes. I am not too sure, though, on that whatsoever. So Craig goes in. Believe he just used a quick repair, and back on the racetrack he goes. But it's this man that's dominated this qualifier, Brandon Templeton. He's got 2 laps to lead all laps here.
Green flag, green flag.
That's right back to green. Templeton sends it in deep, able to hold serve over Anthony Murano for right now. 0.3 of a second advantage. Murano still looking for a chance. High, wide, and handsome. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go here for Brandon Templeton. He's in the dirt track bank. Hammer Down Racing, number 31. Start on pole. Takes the win here in the qualifier. Murano 2nd. Korynta 3rd. Kristofferson 4th. Shreves 5th. Haslett 6th. Landis 7th. Craig 8th. Yearly 9th. And Main in 10th. When we get them in, we will talk to your qualifier winner. As Templeton's your winner by just over 0.6 of a second on the Magic Ant-Man. And so from the looks of it, I believe that with this, Templeton will start in second in our D main this evening. There's Brandon. Alrighty, B-Temp. We saw in night one of the feature where the leader would dominate and have that clean air. Is that going to be very important going into tonight?
It definitely helps. I think once we get into the final feature, I probably won't make it quite that far. It's a long ladder to climb, but if I were to, and for the guys that will be in it, it's long enough, for track wear, maybe a little bit of tire wear, and for some different lines to come in. So I think overall it's going to be a really good race, as the night goes on.
How'd you feel your car was?
I felt pretty good in it. I'm super comfortable in the midgets. I rarely miss one with coast to coast, so it's kind of my favorite car. So we'll take this and we'll move on and we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, B-Town, wishing you the best of luck here, all right, going forward tonight?
Yep, you bet.
All right, sounds good. There's Brandon Templeton. Takes the win in the qualifier. We'll come back with Alphabet Soup in just a moment on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit
Of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight when we talked about it.
these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, I think we got it now. We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we get ready to go here for our first of Soup races. It is our E-Main here for our Chili Bowl. We are going to be taking the top 4 and moving them all to the final spots here in the D-Main, coming on up in just a little bit. And as always, let us know who you are rooting for in chat tonight. Our buddy Dino checking in. Rooting for Clay Mr. Ferson. Or Clay Mistofferson. if I'm getting that right. Cody Early checking on in. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And hopefully I'll hear you on a dirt racing broadcast in the near future. So we've got 7 drivers here in this E-main. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup here once it comes on out. Here we go. As Clay Christopherson is on the pole, the 051. Next to him, Randy Shreves of the 56. Row 2, Justin Haslett in the 27, and Terry Landis, the Desert Demon, in the 161. Row number 3, the Bassman, Roger Craig in the 747, and Cody Early in the 03. Final driver on the grid, Rick Main. He is in the number 187. So we're ready to go green here for our E-main. Top 4 drivers make it on in. It is set for 10 laps. Christopherson and Shreves set to go to green. Alphabet soup mode underway here at the Chili Bowl. Christopherson with a good start as he slide jobs Randy Shreves. Battle for third, Justin Haslett and Roger Craig. Terry Landis back in 5th. Landis gets in the back of the Bassman. Able to hang on to it. Gets away though from both Rick Main and Cody Early as Christopherson leads lap number 1. Let's focus on the 4th place driver, Roger Craig, as he has company from Terry Landis underneath for that final transfer spot. Yoo-hoo! See ya! Terry Landis moves up to P4. Oh, Craig gets turned off of Rick Main. No caution yet. We stay green for right now. Craig has a right to stop, hoping for a caution flag, and he gets it on lap 4. Just want to get that lap complete. Here's a look with what happened to Roger. Landis already got past him for the 4th spot. Did he just get in the back of him? Locked it up. Oh, Rick Main just in too deep. Let's right on board with the Bassman. Extra, let's go Rick Main. Just got way too deep into him. The rear wheels lifted off the ground. Luckily, was able to hang on to it. Set to come back to the green here with 3 laps complete in our 10-lap E-main.
Green flag, green flag.
Christopherson able to hold serve. Justin Haslett has a challenge for the insurance spot by Terry Landis. Haslett gets in too deep, trying to avoid rear-ending the number 56, and so Shreves able to hang on here. Landis, though, trying to grab P3 down the back. Ooh, Landis caught the berm sideways, able to hang on to it, but loses out of a top 4 spot. Rick Main now has it in the 4th position. Now, will the front end damage on that 187 mess things up with his race car? That is the question. Cody Early, the first one out in 5th in the Kyle Larson Flow racing car. Funny thing, that's actually my paint scheme too on iRacing with the midget. Christopherson with a 0.6 of a second lead on Randy Shreves. Rick Main's closed in on Haslett in the battle for P3 off for 2. As Main nearly got into the left rear wheel of Justin Haslett. 2 laps to go in the E-main. Haslett starts to open up the gap here on Main for P3. Main gap between him and Early is at 0.7 of a second. Final lap is underway for Clay Christopherson, the mellow yellow 051 for Full Throttle Motorsports. Makes his way through 3 and 4, checkers wave, and Christopherson wins the E-main. Shreves, Haslett, and Main make their way in. Early, Landis, and Craig go home. So look at your E-main results. Christopherson wins by 1 second on Randy Shreves. A nice run for him. Hazlitt and Main, like I mentioned in the show, 1 second Main beat Early by. And we'll try to get a word with Christopherson while we are at it. Drivers in the D-main. Your race is starting shortly, so get in. We are not going to be wasting any time tonight. So there's no fussing around. Brandon Geiswhite checking in, watching it in to check up on the competition closely. That's a smart move. So it looks like we don't have Christopherson at the moment. We will actually take a break right now and get loaded up for the D-main. Hopefully we talk to him by then. So stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We're back here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. There's the man that won the qualifier and the opening qualifier, Brandon Templeton. As we are just about ready to go here for our D-Main. The top 4 drivers will transfer into the C-Main. Want to give a heads up to those, if you do not make it into the feature tonight, if you DNF, you still will be eligible to make the feature. $50 that proceeds will go towards Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer. That will buy your way in through a provisional into the show. If you want to run that feature badly, you just got to pay $50. We've got 7 drivers right now in the session. We're going to have a couple of drivers here. Brandon Templeton, now on track, the quickest driver at a 10.773. Something interesting, Rick Main, who finished 4th in the D-Main, he actually thought that he was not in the show. As he typed in Discord, was fun. Sorry, never raced midgets before. And everyone in race control is saying, yes, you're in the show, Rick. You're in the D-Main. Join in. I don't think he realized it yet. He's probably, I don't know if he's got the computer off or what, but now in all seriousness, shout out to Brenda Dittmer and Jack Hitt. They've been the main admins here of the Chili Bowl this week, and they have done such a phenomenal job with everything going on, from the passing points, the lineups, and stuff like that. They're doing a great job this evening. Brandon Geisroy, I believe, referring to either Clay Christopherson or Brandon Templeton. He's going to be a contender, him and Morano. Yeah, he definitely will. Have to see how he runs. The boss currently in 5th, Ross Korynta. Let's ride on board with him for a couple laps in honor of Dagen.
Are you clear?
Zach just came in and informed me my mic was muted. Forza have it. I need a button for that.
Well, I actually didn't do it for that reason. I was going to drop some new news here, Marty.
What do you got?
I'm going to throw in $50, and we're going to put Terry Landis in the feature.
$50 to have the Desert Demon in. Alrighty, well, he was running pretty well in the top 4 a couple of times.
Yeah, I think he's a guy who, if he can keep that thing straight and keep it on the bottom, we may be talking about him at the end if he can survive and drive his way to the front.
Absolutely, we'll have to see. He looked pretty good in that midget too. I wonder if we're waiting. I wonder if we're waiting for one more driver, but
Yeah,
Zach,
I think they're trying to get a hold of Rick Mayne.
Yeah.
I think that is the deal.
Yeah, at this point, I would just say let him race without him.
Yeah, I think they were talking about going to the 8-minute mark, which was 30 seconds ago. So they're probably going to roll here soon, I think.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, Zach, thanks for the heads up. And any of you that are buying in for either yourself or somebody else, let me know in the chat. We'll see how many people we get for the Chili Bowl. Obviously, you don't want too many, though. But, hey, the more the merrier, right?
Yep. Yeah, hey, man, at the end of the day, it's all for the family and the charity. It's a good cause. So if I end up in a heap, it is what it is. But we're going to have fun doing it.
Alrighty, well, we're set to go here. Zach, you going to hop back in Gambler, or are you going to join me?
You know what? I'm not doing anything else. Why don't I just stay here for this one?
Heck yes. It's been forever since we last did this. So, alrighty, D-main time. Top 4 in the show. Here's a look at the starting lineup. As Steve Maurer is on the pole in the 888. Next to him, B-10 Brandon Templeton, the 31. Row number 2, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. Next to him, it is Ross the Boss Korynta in the 10. Row number 3, Clay Christopherson in the 51. Next to Randy Shreves in the 56. And final car on the grid is Justin Haslett in the 27. Field rolling off. You can definitely see here, Zach, the track has slickened up a lot from not just the opening qualifier, but also from the E-main, too.
Yeah, that longer warm-up session there, that let the guys really tear it up. And we saw in that, the first qualifier there before the E-main, guys were running the top a little bit. We saw the top come into play, and I think we're going to see that again here.
Top 4 start in the back of the C-main. We've increased the laps as well. It is a 12-lap D-main here coming on up. Green flag set to wave here. Here we go. Good start for Steve Maurer. However, though, Templeton on the bikes. Oh, my goodness! Big implications. Rolling over is B-Temp as the yellow flag waves. A driver that looked like he would make the Chili Bowl could be in jeopardy here, Zach.
Yeah, let's be honest. The guy that, if, he would have been here last night, you'd talk about maybe winning the Chili Bowl. That's a tough break for him. He's got a lot of work to do.
Maurer caught the 32 and a heavy impact. Korynta also involved. Man, oh man, that was a wild one. Better look from the onboard with the 31. And the Briners, and then Maurer, yeah, he just did not react in time to Morano, and Templeton is the one that pays the price the worst. Now, if there's a bright side here for the 888, because we didn't complete a green flag lap, he gets to restart as the leader.
Yeah, same with Christopherson as well. He had took a big hit, so he gets back up to P3.
Remember, it's top 4 in the show. Maurer brings us back to the green. And I wonder if the drivers behind were expecting him to go, and I think he went on the green flag instead. Morano around the outside, looking for the race lead in 3 and 4. Into the wall, Morano takes the lead on lap 2.
He gets a good run on the outside. And here comes Putt, his teammate right behind him. Does Maurer shut the door? No, he leaves it open.
Christopherson around the outside for second. He's got it. Randy Shreves, the driver in the final transfer spot. But look at B-Temp from flipping to looking for P4 here, Zach.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here. There he goes. He got a big run, but Steve Maurer. Oh, no. Man, that was close. Good run by Beatdown.
Oh, contact. Both of them, all three of them, in fact. Templeton up to third. Battle for fourth. Shreves finds his way past Maurer.
Yeah, and you see Shreves crack the throttle a little bit there coming off the corner. I think he knows where he belongs here. Hitch a rod, try to stay on board with the 31 and make the show, but oh, look to his inside.
That's Justin Haslett in the 27, trying to show his nose underneath. Haslett's got a lift in that ride. Maurer nearly clips the wall. He's down to sixth. 5 laps to go here, and Maurer has crashed it. Yellow flag waves. The chances of a very good performance here is gone backwards for the 88.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen iRacing throw cautions or wait a lot longer to throw cautions, but they were pretty quick with that one. It looked like he had it under control, but caution comes out and we'll restack him.
Yeah, it looks like iRacing thought he was at least 90 degrees sideways, if I were to guess. Let's right on board with Maurer. He's just trying to hang on to his car for dear life.
Yeah, definitely. He was able to hang on, though, and he pulls in the pits here. We'll have to see if he comes back out or if he's going to call it a night. No, he did go back out. Excuse me.
Does have a quick repair, and he already used that. And so we're coming to green here with 4 laps to go. Again, top 4 in. Morano, Christofferson, Templeton, and Shreves, the 4 drivers that would make the show right now.
Green, green, green.
So we're back to green. Templeton looking for a run, and saw some side-by-side action for 5th for a moment. Korynta tried to show his nose underneath on Haslett for P5. Can't make that work. Shreves hanging on to that final spot for right now, Shaggy.
Yeah, and if he looks in that mirror, seeing those guys battle side by side, looking good, but contact for P2, B-Temp and Clay Christofferson bumping a little bit.
How about that 31? From flipping on lap 1 to up to 3rd on lap 11. Looking for a better starting spot in the back of the C-Main. Final lap here underway. You know who's going to win this one. We're watching the battle for second closely. Anthony Morano through turn number 4 takes the win in the D-Main. As second goes to Christofferson. Templeton third, Shreves fourth. They're in the show. Has the Korynta Maurer out unless they pay $50 for a provisional. We'll talk with Morano in just a moment here as they all pose for a photo. So the Magic Ant-Man who won the matinee earlier tonight is your D-Main winner. And so we'll talk to him in just a moment. Drivers in the C-Main. If you're watching this, your race is next, so get ready to load up into the session. Again, drivers in the C-Main, your session is next. Let's bring him on in here, Anthony Morano. Ant-Man, you've been looking pretty good all day from winning your matinee this afternoon to now taking a win in the C-Main. How's your car feeling right now?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, don't really run these very often, so it was definitely different. So we'll just keep plugging away and see how far up the soup we can get.
What do you feel is working out for you right now?
Track position.
Do you think that's what it's going to be?
That's pretty much it.
Do you think that's what that's going to be tonight? I've been talking with a lot of drivers about that, and they all agree. It seems like it's going to be track position. The driver will likely win this race from the front row.
Yeah, I don't think it's all that easy to pass with these things. Just, I mean, being in a midget, the track's pretty big, but it's still Chili Bowl. It's still tiny and tight. So, I guess we'll see. We'll probably start. I don't even know where I start here, so I guess we'll figure that out as we go along.
Well, you won the C-Main, so I believe you'll start 7th.
So we'll plug away and see what happens here. Who knows? Maybe we'll make it through and get to the A. We'll see.
All right, sounds good. Good luck out there tonight, all right?
Thanks a lot, buddy.
The Magic Ant-Man takes the win here in the D-Main. We'll step aside. Get ready for the C-Main. Again, your race is next if you're in the C-Main on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Welcome back here to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Dagen Korynta Memorial Chili Bowl C-Main is set to begin here as give these drivers a couple more laps before we go green. Marty Sakala with you alongside Zach Chapman. Again, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. We'll give you a shout out live and on the air. Brandon Geiswhite checking in as he believes that of a couple of contenders out here tonight. Going to include Templeton, Morano, and stuff. And Brandon believes the bottom is there, and I think we'll see him later on, either the B main or the A main.
He's starting in front of me in the A main on the high side, so I'm going to hope that I don't allow him to get to that bottom right away, Marty. Hopefully I can sneak on under you, Brandon.
We'll have to see what goes down here. You're looking at the times here for our C main. Notice on the top left how many we're taking to the B main. We've got one extra number here. It is the top 5 that will lock their way in, not the top 4. We had a driver that's not going to make it in the B main, so leaves open one extra spot to make things fair. As you're taking a look at Donovan Ross, Devo currently 5th quick in the number 5 beatdown quickest right now in practice. If there's a guy that can play alphabet soup, I think Templeton's the best man to do it.
Yeah, he would definitely be my pick there as well. And not only do it, Marty, but win some of these races, especially if he gets lucky with a caution or two at the right time.
I would say either him or Randy Shreves are the best two, because I believe we saw Shreves in the first race, right?
Yep. Yeah, Randy Shreves in as well.
All righty. We'll see what can happen. So, can confirm from Rick Main, he thought it was only the top 3 and went right to making dinner. Says he's an idiot sometimes.
Aren't we all?
Yes, it is true. We all are, for sure. So waiting on one other driver, it's Michael Vecchio. Doesn't have a lot of time. Again, we are going pretty quick when it comes to warm-ups. And then we're going to get things going here. Session's been up for just about 7.5 minutes. There's Corey Schartzer in the number 6, 7th quickest at the moment. Our C main tonight, 15 laps. Should be a fun one here. Zach, what do you think of the Chili Bowl in real life, moving from 55 laps to 40 laps? I think it's great because of how quick the track gets rubbered up.
Yeah, I think so too. And, you know, we've seen in the last 10 laps or so, a lot of guys get burned with flat tires. And let's be honest, you don't really see a lot of passing anyway, unless it's after a restart in this closing lap. So I think it gives the guys, you know, that little more oomph. You know, you got to go get it right away, and you're not trying to save as much.
Randy Shreves right now, 4th quick on the track. All right, we got to get things going now here. Again, if you're watching on Coast to Coast Racing Network, let us know who you are rooting for. Also, as well, if you do not make your way into the A main tonight, $50 will get you a provisional, with all proceeds going towards Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer. So make sure you don't miss out on that. They have ended the session.
So, Marty, just a little bit of an update, too. I think we lost another driver in the B main here, so we're going to take 6 now.
So it's the top 6?
Yes, sir.
All righty. You just heard that, I believe, from an admin?
Yeah, and then I hopped down quick to verify with Brandon. It's true.
All righty. So of the 8, 6 are going into the last chance showdown. So let's see what happens here. Let's give you the starting lineup tonight, though. As Jack Clevenger is on the pole in the number 78. Next to him, Devo Donovan Ross in the 5. Row number 2, Corey Schartzer in the 6, and Greg Parmalee in the 4. Row 3, Anthony Morano, the Magic Ant-Man, in the 32, and Clay Christopherson in the 51. Final row tonight, beatdown Brandon Templeton in the 31, and the 56 of Randy Shreves. One lap here until the green. Is it just me, or is that Diet Pepsi scheme that Clevenger has a throwback?
Let me see here.
I don't know whose it is. I know Devo's car is Chase Briscoe.
I can't think. I'm going to have to do some thinking on that. It does look familiar.
Anyway, well, regardless of that, top 6 are in. We're green for the B main, or for the C main, rather. Good start for Clevenger off for turn 2. Look out! One driver just went into the infield. That's Morano, and we go to yellow. They're actually going to call the yellow for that, which actually, not going to lie, surprises me a little bit. But I think with it being a charity event, they're going to give him the leeway and give him a second chance. Here's a look at what happened here. Watch Parmalee in the 4, Morano in the 32. The two get together. Christopherson gets Parmalee sideways, but that's not the cause of it.
And the Ant-Man Toad, Clay Christopherson isn't out there, so we've got our 6, Marty.
Man, look at that, just perfectly between the guardrails. Morano is DNF'd. Wow.
Yeah, Murado disconnected, and so did Clay Christopherson. So we've got our 6.
That honestly surprises me. As we're back to the green flag, because Genzek, you know too, these drivers have one quick repair they can use, and we saw when Templeton crashed, he got right back into it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, those are two. It's not like me either, Marty, if I'd wreck and have to come from the back. Those guys are actually good. So, I mean, it wouldn't have been too much of a task for them, but who knows? Maybe running in some other leagues here tonight, but we definitely appreciate the FTM guys coming out.
That is true. I forgot it is a Monday night, and I know they do another league race too. Anyway, Templeton moves up to 3rd, battle for 5th. Greg Parmalee trying to get it from Randy Shreves, but Parmalee clips the berm pretty good. But Clevenger is opened up to a 1.5 second lead. Here comes B-Temp around the outside of Donovan Ross. A little bit of contact between the two on the back chute. And B-Temp starting to pull away for the number 5.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, every spot they get here is another spot in the next main. So B-Temp, he's got to make it easy on himself as he can.
9 laps to go. Make it 8 laps to go here in the B main. Closest battle on track is the race for, I guess you could say, for 4th here, as Corey Schartzer trying to catch Donovan Ross on board with the 6. Top speed of around 74 miles an hour, getting down to as low as 40. But 5 laps remain here in our Chili Bowl C main. Jack Clevenger with the lead by 1.5 seconds on Brandon Templeton. Shreves has caught Schartzer here, Zach, in the battle for 4th.
Yeah, Shreves was another guy we talked about, you know, who could come in and maybe climb the ladder here and get through the suit too. Was if he could get by Schartzer, that'll really help his cause. Running out of time.
Well, regardless, though, they will all be in the show. As we've got 2 laps remaining, 1.1 second advantage for Clevenger on B-Temp. Lap car in the way. That is the 4 of Parmalee. Templeton. Oh, wait, actually, the race is over. Checkers wave. Clevenger with the win. Templeton 2nd. Ross 3rd. Schartzer 4th. Shreves 5th. Parmalee 6th. All make it in to the show. Eight-tenths of a second margin of victory for Clevenger on Templeton. Talk with the driver, the number 78 here in just a moment. Drivers in the B main, your race is next. Drivers in the B main, your race is next. So get loaded in. We are not going to be waiting. We're going to go to commercial, then we will get going with our B main. Jack Clevenger, meanwhile, the winner of the C main. Jack, how you feeling right now?
Pretty decent, pretty good. Had a good night going last night, and had some things going on at home where I had to kind of bail in the middle of it. So put us back in the C, but here we are. See what we can do.
Do you feel that we're going to be starting tonight in the B main? Do you think that's going to be good enough to move your way up into, I think, the top 5 for tonight, or what do you think?
I think it's they're both going to be races of attrition. You know, whatever. Just keep your nose clean and probably sneak your way in if you're competitive.
Other than that, car feeling good from the way you want it to be right now on the track and based off the track conditions?
Yeah, just need to figure out how to run the bottom like Templeton does, and I'll be golden.
Alrighty, man. Well, best of luck here coming on up the rest of the night, all right?
Thanks, Marty.
Again, for drivers that did not make it into the next race, you can buy in provisional for $50. All proceeds to Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer. We'll step aside, go to break. The B-Main next on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. All right, clear. I'll meet you in the pits. All right, you're gonna have to tell these drivers here to speed it up here because I just mentioned we are not waiting. It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we were talking about it.
So we're taking the top 5, I believe. Top 6.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months. It got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week.
You
The
grab your
Steve
soda.
King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
B-Main getting set to go here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you. I believe Zach Chapman will be on his way in just a moment. So
He's back.
Oh, he's back?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Last chance showdown coming up here. We've got 20 laps around the corner here. Top 6 will make their way in, and we have 9 drivers with us. What are you expecting here in just a moment?
Well, I mean, I think Jack had a pretty good take on it there. You just kind of need to survive, and if nothing happens in the first 2 laps, well, then you got to get pretty aggressive because you got to punch your ticket in unless you're willing to spend another 50 to get yourself in.
Well, we will see what goes down here. So checkers have waved. Alrighty. Let's meet the field and give you the starting lineup here for our B-Main. The Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker on the pole position, the 513. Next to him, it's Barry Goldner in the 36. Row number 2, Brian Moore Sr. in the 558, and Jack Clevenger in the 78. Row number 3, you've got B-Town, Brandon Templeton in the 31. And Devo, Donovan Ross in the number 5. Row 4, Corey Schartzer in the 6, and Randy Shreves in the number 56. And the final car on the grid, Greg Parmalee in the 4. Top 6 make their way into the show. Who are you watching closely here, Zach?
Well, I mean, Brandon's already got his ticket in if he could finish where he's at. So he's just got to make sure he locks himself in. He knows the A's a long race. So I'd keep an eye on that 31. But outside looking in, Randy Shreves. Nobody I'm rooting for in this field more than Randy. He's a good driver, and it'd be really nice to see him get through the soup.
Alrighty. Top 6 make their way into the show. Everyone else will have to pay $50 if they want to race the feature. Underway with the last chance showdown. Barker clips the berm, but leads early. Barry Goldner, Brian Morris Sr. battle for second. Jack Clevenger tries to get the battle, and same with Brandon Templeton. Lap 1, led by the Brute to Beast. Big stack up from second on back, Zach.
Yeah, there's still contact in the back. Randy Shreves gets into the back of. I couldn't tell who that was. Corey Schartzer possibly, but man, oh man, these guys, they made it through those dreaded first 2 laps. Now you got to get aggressive.
Barry Goldner, Corey Schartzer side by side for 6. Devo, look at the final spot into the show. Great battling all the way around the Chili Bowl here, Zach.
Yeah, now Devo got to the front here, looking to get to the outside, and he looks up in the mirror. They're battling hard. That's what he wants to see.
Let's go to the battle for the race lead here as Brandon Templeton has caught the 513 of Jeff Barker. That would be a key starting spot here tonight if B-Temp can win the B-Main.
Yeah, and you're probably going to put you on the inside, and Brandon wants that here. He's looking to get aggressive, goes to the high side. Coming out, is he going to complete the pass?
Yes, he will. Just has to try and secure it at the line. Now, Keep in mind, though, quickest car on track's the man in third. That's Jack Clevenger right now. Let's go for the final transfer spot. Randy Shreves looking to take it away from Donovan Ross. Let's see if he can grab it off at turn number 2. Not just yet.
He keeps peeking on the bottom, but just can't find that run coming off through that slick. He's running out of time here.
A lot of time, though, left here. We're a lap away from halfway. Oh, Ross in the wall. Shreves to take advantage and move up to 6th.
Yeah, and halfway point now, so Ross has to put his head down and try to reel him back in.
Oh, nope, we're good. I thought Fermoni crashed, but must have been a netcode blink in and out. Brian Mort Sr. trying to catch up to him. That's the closest battle on track for P3, on board with Sr. Tough to pass right now at the moment. A lot of gaps all around. Seems like the high side's the place to be right now, Zach.
Yeah, it's at that awkward stage where in maybe 10 or 15 more laps, people would want to move back down to the bottom, but you're just praying that guy in front of you makes a mistake.
Shreves is continuing to increase that lead on Donovan Ross at 1.5 seconds. On the number 5, next target, Corey Schartzer for the 5th position. Clevenger has now caught Barker in the battle for P2 from the back bumper of Barker. Good send in deep from the 78. Clevenger really good on the entry. Barker better on corner exit, but Barker caught the berm there. That may pay the price for him.
Yeah, but he's in the show. I don't think we see that 513 fight too hard, but, well, let him prove me wrong. Here he goes. He's trying to hold on to it.
Yeah, Clevenger makes it look too easy. 78 car up to P2. Schartzer Shreves, the best battle on track. 3 laps to go. That's the race for 5th. Again, top 6 all make their way in the show. Barry Gollner is pulled into the pits. He is done unless he buys his way in. Coming to the white flag this time by 1 lap to go for Brandon Templeton. He started back in the 5th position. I believe this is the first time tonight we've seen someone that did not start on the front row and win their race. Through 3 and 4, Brandon Templeton wins the B main. Clevenger 2nd, Barker 3rd, Mort Sr. 4th, Schartzer 5th, Randy Shreves does soup and make his way into the show in 6th, Ross 7th, Parmalee in 8th. Gollner 9th, your bottom 3 will have to buy their way in. Everyone else in the show for our 40-lap feature. We'll talk with Templeton in just a moment. Saw the top 9 there on your screen. And we got B-Temp back with us once again. I don't think I've ever seen someone win 2 soup races in one night. That's got to be a good hot rod out underneath that 31.
Yeah, so far so good. You know, the bottom's going away though. I think they might increase the track wear every time, and I think we'll probably run more laps for the feature. I have no idea, but yeah, we'll see. I think the bottom's going away.
Is that what you want at least? Hopefully for a really slick track.
I mean, the bottom, at least for me, is giving me, it seems like, an advantage right now, as I'm able to hug that berm a little bit better than most. But when it gets slick, you know, it just becomes more about being patient and finding your spots.
So you start, I believe, in the 11th spot tonight. What do you expect for 40 laps, and what's going to take to make that charge up to the front?
Probably going to be a long race, probably going to be coming and going, probably going to be mad at some point, probably going to be excited at some point. So just got to try to stay medium and, you know, keep yourself focused and see what happens at the end.
Alrighty, man. Well, best of luck here in the 40-lap feature. Good luck.
Thanks, Marty.
Brandon Templeton takes the B main. We'll step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's a 40-lap feature on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion, trying to be a
Bit of a hiatus, so let's get.
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Welcome back on the Coast to Coast Racing Network here as we are almost ready to go for feature time here. And what is going to be a really fun race coming on up. So we take a look at how the times look here. Right now, Kyle Moonen the quickest on track at a 10:08. Brandon Templeton second, 10:10. Steven Spees third, 10:12. Brandon Geiswhite fourth, 10:24. And Brandon Dittmer rounds out the top five at a 10:25. Look at Mason Hyde on the track. Had a decent night last night. We're with one of the faster guys, Steven Spees, who looked very impressive in his race. As we get set to go, let us know who you're rooting for. Jason Butterfield. Let's go get them Venom drivers. Do we have any Venom drivers running this besides Brandon Dittmer? I don't think we do. Terry Landis, the Desert Demon, got a provisional in. He is 7th. We have 17 drivers with us. Corey Schartzer, by the way, in the show. Just joined the server right now. Joe Musso currently 15th. Again, a reminder, our first of 3. Dagen Korynta Memorial events here. Looking at what's coming up for them. December 31st, we've got our first event, which is our New Year's Eve special. That's the Big Block 200 on December 31st. Then on New Year's Day, we've got the Huset's 100. That Big Block 200, by the way, will be at Oswego. Same place where they hold Super Dirt Weekend, a 200 lap feature there for the Super Dirt Car Series. And again, as always, for your donations, you can send them over to c2c.charity.us@gmail.com. There's our boy Shaggy. 8th quickest at the moment. Let's ride on board with him. Good close racing with his teammate Steven Spees. Whoa! Oh, got the wall, no points. Alrighty. Checkers are out. Alrighty, we are ready to go here for the 40-lap Chili Bowl feature. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup. As the boss is on the pole, Ross Korynta in the 10. Next to him, Steven Spees, the detective, in the 55. Row 2, the Money King, Kyle Moonen in the 24. And the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer in the 83. Row 3, Gentleman Jack in the 217. And Brandon Geiswhite in the 18. Row 4, Shaggy Zach Chapman in the 72, and Jake Musso in the 44. Rounding out the top 10, you've got Joe Musso in the 19, and the 89 of Mason Hyde. Row 6, B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Jack Clevenger in the 78. Row 7, the Brewer to Beats, Jeff Barker in the 513, and Brian Moore Sr. in the 558. Row 8, Corey Schartzer, he's in the 6, and Randy Shreves in the 56. Final car on the grid tonight, Terry Landis, the Desert Team in the 161 via provisional. One lap to the green flag. 17 cages of cold metal with hot rubber at the corners. And we're keeping the lights back on. I'm not too sure why. Are we going to try and do a 4 wide here possibly? That's impossible. I wonder if somebody is requested to move to the back, and that was the case with Ross Korynta.
We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
So should be 1 to green this time. Pace truck is in, and we are ready for the start of the Dagen Korynta Memorial Chili Bowl. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Spees and Moonin, showtime, the Chili Bowl's underway. Good start from Moonin, contact from Steven Spees, Jake Musso around and same with Brandon Templeton in the 31. Mason Hine also involved, and Hine gets the worst of it on his noggin. Take a look at a replay and show you what happened to the 44 of Jake Musso. Tried to thread the needle, contact. Ooh, I think that was with Joe Musso too. In the wall he went. And then what happened with Brandon Templeton? He just got caught up from the 44's mess. And that's where Mason Hine pays the price. Was upside down for the entire back straight. Go on board with the 89. Missed one, can't miss the second. There's the contact, dragging while being pushed by Jack Clevenger.
Green, green, green.
Back to green here. Moonin holding serve of the 24 off a single file restart as we did not complete the opening lap. It's all single file, works out pretty well. Good battle for the 5th position here as Zach Chapman looks to take the spot away from Brandon Geiswhite. Chapman slides up, contact between him and Geiswhite. Look out! And we had a lot more than that in turn 3. Brian Moore Sr., I believe. First car involved along with Joe Musso, Corey Schartzer, and Randy Shreves. Well, look at what happened. This is the 558 of Senior. Ooh, Corey Schartzer sending 2 deep and stacked him up. Go on board with Joe Musso. He's watching Chapman, the 18 battle for position. This was actually something different. That's what we were watching there. Oh! And that was the 18 of Geiswhite that went on his noggin. Got to go one more here, and that's Corey Schartzer. We'll show you the send into Moore Senior. Then we got to come back to green. Keeper single file as Kyle Moonin brings the field back to the green flag once again. Spees underneath for the race lead. Can't get that to work. Stays in second. Detmer now wants another spot. That's on Jack Kidd in the battle for the 3rd position. The 2 admins going at it. Zach Chapman running 5th. Looked low on his fellow booth boy and Brandon Dittmer as you see the 18 of Geiswhite make his way back on the track after he flipped. He's pulling her to a stop, then get things going. Great sportsmanship. The number 18, battle for the lead. Here comes Spees on the 24. Bad exit, contact with Jack Hitt. The 217 hangs on to it. And now Dittmer looks for the bottom step of the podium. Contact between the 2 admins, they hang on. Dittmer up on the berm. Trying to save it, he does, but loses a lot of time, and he may lose fourth here to Joe Musso. The Moose is trying to be let loose here off of turn 4, and that's the case. Joe Musso started back in 9th, and he's up to 4th. But he's not your biggest mover of the race. That yellow car on the right, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, started 17th. He's up to 9th. Jake Musso, meanwhile, has crashed in turn 3. Caution waves. Caution flag waves. Get you a look at what happened with Jake. Into turn 3, caught the wall, around it went. Trying to follow Brandon Talbot's line, just got in too deep. Lights are off, coming back to green this time by with 11 laps in the books. Moon and Spees hit Musso and Dittmer. That's the top 5 as we're back to green. Everyone keeps their single file up near the front. Spees closes in a little bit on Moonen. How's the gap off of turn 4? Stays the same at just around 0.2 of a second. Not bad of an exit from the 55. Tries to slide her in a little bit deep. Best battle on the track is for 7th. Landis and Clevenger. The Desert Demon looking to go up another spot. Very good in these dirt midgets. He's now up 10 into 7th. We had Mason Hind having issues moments ago. No caution flag. He's told her to the pit, so we stay under the green flag. But all eyes are on the battle for the race lead here. Jack Hitt trying to close in on Steven Speeds for 2nd. On board the 217 down the back chute. Speeds still there, tucked up behind the 24 fuel bar of Moonen. Side by side off the corner, Moonen stays up top. The two come to blows for just a second. Nearly a slide job from Steven Speeds. I don't know if he led that lap last time by the line, but the detective goes out front, and now he leads at the line. Oh, but wait a second. Templeton and Barker crashed. Now, when did the yellow wave? I don't see Speeds letting Moonen go, so my gut believes it happened at the line. Let's show you what happened. Ooh, bunny hopped the berm, caught Shreves, and Barker is nowhere to go. I believe that was Korynta that was also involved too. On board with Jeff Barker. Terry Landis, by the way, found his way past Zach Chapman not too long ago, and he is up to 6th, trying to tackle the big guns here. As we are approaching the halfway mark, we have a new leader on this restart. His name is Steven Speeds, as we come back to green. And Speeds able to pull away from Kyle Moonen. No! No! Dang it. A lot of us wanted to see Terry Landis do good, and he's got a problem with the left front. Let's show you what happened to the Desert Demon. Avoided hitting the 83, and then he caught the wall in the back chute, and then he caught the heavy column we saw someone else nearly take out earlier tonight. On board with the Desert Demon. was driving so well this evening. Took out the entire front end of that race car. And he's got a quick repair. Speeds to bring us back to the green flag here. We are halfway home in the Chili Bowl. Speed's got a little bit tight. Moonen stays right behind. Can the 24 get side by side here off the corner? They nearly get together, but this is your battle for the race lead. Weirdly, one driver upside down. Is that Clevenger? That is. Show you what happened. Clevenger was running 7th at the time. Same thing, caught the wall. Not once, but twice. And then he ramped on Templeton. Bang, right into the fence. All was good. All was good. Then he got Templeton. So he would have been okay, and then that car flipped. Alrighty, we will try this once again. I think we did take off a lap there at the line. So it's Spies, Moonen, Hit, Joe Musso, and Dittmer. That's the top 5 as we come back to green. 22 laps complete in the Chili Bowl. 18 remain. The detective able to hold serve here. Dittmer tried low for the 4th position. Not able to make the pass work. Biggest mover on track, that 56 of Randy Shreves, now in 7th. Started 16th, he's up to 7th. And now Brandon Talbotton trying to rebound after an accident in the first caution flag. These were the 2 best suit performers throughout the night. Dittmer lost a spot to Zach Chapman. Shaggy trying to make sure he defends. Good crossover move though from Dittmer. As he moves back up to 5th, back to the race up front. Spies still battling the 24 of Kyle Moonen. And it's a 3-car battle. Jack Hitt has got involved in this mess. On board with Gentleman Jack. Ooh, caught the wall there. Does a wheelie there. Not bad of an angle there. And could lap traffic be an issue here in the Chili Bowl? We'll have to see. See them just barely in the background. Back to the race for P5. Templeton up to 6th. Found his way past Chapman moments ago. Now he wants Dittmer and Joe Musso too. Side by side off the corner for P4. 9 laps to go here in the Chili Bowl. Steven Spies still with a lot of company. And Kyle Moonen, now they're side by side. Spies with the advantage on corner exit. On board with the Money King. So good at these charity races. Hold the phone, we've got a yellow, and Moonen's around. Oh no! Will he regain 2nd though out of it? I don't know though. From the looks of things, we had a big one. Watch Templeton and Chapman. 31 goes up the hill. Oh, he was blinking in and out. Got on the binders. There's Zach Chapman, and it's just a stack-up parking lot in turn 4. Got the back of the 31. Back to green here with 7 laps to go in the Chili Bowl. Kyle Moon in spin. He had to use a quick repair. Nope, he actually went down to 5th. That's when he merged back in line. So now he's in a dangerous hole. Battle for 3rd, Joe Musso, Brandon Dittmer. But now Jack Kett, one of the best to do it in a midget. In the coast to coast, underneath Thought Speeds for the race lead, side by side. Caution flag waves with 5 to go. Head was about, I think, was about to take the lead at the stripe. The caution waves once again. Let's watch the replay with Terry Landis. Caught the wall once again. Upside down he went. Almost hit that column once again. Alrighty, we've got 5 laps to go in the Chili Bowl. Will Steven Spees win or will Jack Kett spoil the party of the detective? Great restart from Spees in that 55. Joe Musso, Brandon Dittmer, Kyle Moon in battle for the 3rd spot. 4 laps to go. It's staying right behind that 55. 3 laps to go. It's staying right there. So good on the bottom, I think, compared to Speeds up top. But now the 55 cuts his line off. 2 laps to go. Hit nearly gets to the back of the 55. Gentleman Jack underneath for the race lead. Side by side off for turn 2. Head of the berm, slide, job on Speeds. The 55 crosses over, head to the point with 1 lap to go. He's got Speeds cleared, and he only leads 2 laps to do it. Gentlemen, Jack Kett, the Chili Bowl champion. Speeds 2nd, Dittmer 3rd, Musso 4th, and Randy Streets 5th. That came right out of nowhere. Wow, wow, wow. Speeds better do some fun donuts to celebrate this one. Oh my goodness. And I think we got some drivers that are out of fuel, including Het. I think that's the case. They're all trying to push them to the start-finish line. And so that's probably why Het went to the bottom. And now Chapman's trying to push, but I think everybody's all stuck together. Oh my goodness. Jack Het with the stunner. We know Jack is very good at running the midgets here. But we also know Steven Spees has been brilliant this week in the Chili Bowl. Let's watch for the aerial shot. Jack can't get it done with a beautiful slide job. Spees trying to counter it back, but I don't think he had a lot of tire left compared to Jack. So Jack Het, the Chili Bowl champion. Checking what y'all are seeing in chat before we talk to your top 3 here. Cody thought the top side would play a factor with 12 to go. This time it was the bottom. Isaac very happy to see Jack win. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was well worth the wait. Let's begin and let's get Spees all moved in here to the waiting room. There we go. Let's talk to our 3rd place finisher, Brandon Dittmer. Brandon, you stayed up near the front. You were staying side by side. How much fun was that race tonight?
Oh, it was a heck of a lot of fun. I kind of found a little something there in kind of the middle parts of the race, but unfortunately nothing to get me up to second. But no, this is a lot of fun. I love this event. Um,
It was
yeah,
pretty much you and Joe Musso battling together the entire night. That did not disappoint.
yeah, I'm glad we could put on a show for everybody. I unfortunately got a lot of unnecessary X's, banged the wall a couple times. I ended up with the 10X, flirted with getting disqualified. So I had to kind of reel it in the last 5 laps. But no, I'm glad we could put on a show for everybody.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
You for the broadcast, Roger for Coast to Coast, Jack Hitt for helping me orchestrate this whole thing, um, Training Wheels Racing, and everybody for coming out and making this possibility. This was absolutely fantastic, and it went about as smooth as anybody could have imagined.
Well, great job tonight, and thank you for a great event all week. Great job working everything from the lineups to the points to admitting. Great job.
Absolutely, always happy to do it.
Brendan Dittmer finishing third. Let's go to the man that had a great car but fell short, Steven Spies. That has got to be heartbreaking, finishing second in a big one. Did you feel, what more did you need for Jack?
About a half a gallon of fuel, or maybe a full gallon. That's what I needed. So I thought we were going to be okay. I looked at the beginning of the race, and it looked like we were going to have enough fuel to make it. And then all that racing early with Moonin, I think I was really pushing and getting on the throttle hard, and we were running around the top, and it just started burning fuel. And I looked down about at the halfway mark, and I was a couple laps short. So I had to start saving the rest of the race out, and I knew it was going to keep us bunched up, but I thought I could milk enough out of it, and it just wasn't there. I got a 1 lap warning with 2 to go, and coming off of 2, it kind of stuttered on the checkered, the white flag, checkered flag lap, and coasted out of 4 across the line. So,
wow.
Hats off to Jack. He did an awesome job. He saved the right amount, found the right line, and made it work. But yeah, I ran out. So,
were you considering moving down to the bottom?
I was, but I gave it a try, and it just didn't seem like it was there. You couldn't get off the corners very well and keep the speed up. So, being out front at that point probably was not really an advantage because I didn't know where to go, and it's hard. You don't want to try something and have somebody just blitz around you on the outside or the inside, either way. But like I said, I was just trying to keep it as straight as I could and baby the throttle, but stay in the way as much as I could. But Jack found a way. He's good in these two.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
I think the shout outs just have to mainly go to the guys that put this together. So I know Jack, and then I think Brandon also, right? Kind of did the organization here, and fun event. Always love the C2C charity events as well. So thanks to those guys for doing this. It's one of my favorite cars. So always love it when we get a chance to run it. And thanks everybody for good racing there towards the end. We actually, got some green flag laps and were able to race it out. So that was awesome.
Alrighty. Well, great job tonight. Best of luck rest of the way through here, and Merry Christmas.
Thanks, you too, Marty.
Steven Speed's finishing second. And let's go to the winner, gentlemen. Jack, you did it, man. How's that one feel?
Hell yeah, Marty. Feels great.
Take me through that pass to the end. Steven said that he was getting really concerned on fuel.
I didn't even realize we were running out of fuel until my car stalled when I was trying to do donuts. I don't know. I knew bottom of 3 and 4 was a little bit faster than the top, but it was hard to actually keep that spot. So had to run on him, got inside of him at some point through the slider, and went for it.
Was this a race of pretty much patience from your perspective?
Yes and no. I mean, you got to be patient because you got to wait for the openings, but as soon as you see an opening, you got to jump on it. It's so hard to get around guys that are fast here, so patient and make sure you don't take yourself out of the race like last night. But aggressive in the sense, if I had one shot for the slider, I was gonna throw it that one time.
How are you going to enjoy this one tonight?
Oh man, I don't know. I've got some trophies over here from midgets, some sprint cars and everything, but this might be my favorite win in about 5 years of iRacing. So um, I'm gonna figure something out here.
Yeah, you'll have to make some room for, I believe we're doing a trophy, correct?
Yeah, I think Roger said that it was gonna be a full-sized. No, there's some sort of trophy, I think, with maybe a driller guy on it. I'm not sure, but
Yeah,
obviously we can't use a real driller.
yeah, you'll have to make some room on that for sure. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Shout out to you for putting on the broadcast both nights. I think Zach was up there helping you out a little bit. Big shout out to Roger and Brandon for helping make this thing go, and everyone else behind the scenes. Shout out to all the guys that showed up and made this event worth running and worth watching. And of course, gotta thank my wife for giving me time to do it.
All righty, well, congratulations. What a way to steal it at the end. Great job, Jack. And thank you for a great event this week, from admitting, race control, grid and points and stuff like that. Great job all week.
Yeah, thanks, Marty. And hopefully we'll see everybody next year when we do it again.
Absolutely. Jack Hitt taking the win here in the Chili Bowl. And that completes our first event of the Dagen Korynta Memorial. Again, all proceeds going towards Braden's Hope for Childhood Cancer. We'll be back at it on New Year's Eve with the Big Block 200. So that'll do it for us here on behalf of everyone at the Coast to Coast Racing League. Roger Craig, fine drivers and sponsors and admins. Marty Sakala here saying so long. Congratulations to Gentleman Jack Hitt, your Chili Bowl champion. Thanks for joining us. Have a Merry Christmas. We will talk to you all soon. So long.